Okay. So our next speaker is Professor Prasuna. She is working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Andhra Loyal Institute of Engineering and Technology. She has more than 20 years of teaching and research experience. She has received many research and teaching awards, which includes Best Teacher Award from JNTU in 2009. She is a regional coordinator for Indo-US collaboration IUCEE for engineering education. She has organized various national and international FDPs, workshops, and conferences. I welcome you, ma'am, in today's second session of 7 days International Faculty Development Program and request you to present your talk. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your introductory words. And thank you,
Welcome, ma'am.
Ajay, sir, for the wonderful session. And please allow me to share my screen. So hope you are able to see my screen. Is it visible, sir?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes. Okay. So once again, thank you very much. And it's my privilege and honor to be part of this faculty development workshop. And my topic is technology in teaching to enrich learning. So I would like to start this session with a quote. Technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers is transformational. Yes, we all teachers agree this quote. We all know a teacher can never be replaced by anything, even though with technology. But of course, we can take the help of the technology to improve the quality of our teaching and also to improve the learning abilities of the students. So teaching learning is a process. So this process contains many methods. As a Chinese proverb said, 1,000 teachers, 1,000 methods. So I follow my own methodology for teaching. You all may follow your own methodologies for teaching. So one faculty use one method, another faculty may use another method. So let me share one of my experiences. Some years back, so I used to go to the classroom with very much confidence. Of course, now also, but I never used to ask the students whether they have learned the things, whether they have followed my lecture or not. End of the class, I used to come with a lot of pride that I have taught very well. Every student has understood my concept. So one day while casually taking the attendance, I asked one of the students a question, simple question. The student could not answer. So I asked her why. To my surprise, she said she couldn't understand the topic what I delivered in the class. Then I started thinking, so am I able to reach all the students in my class? All the students, not are the students. All are the students are able to understand whatever I delivered in the class. So every teacher at one point of time have to ask this question. We are teaching. Are they learning? Yes, we all are teaching. But our ultimate goal, ultimate objective is to make the students learn. Are they really learning what we are teaching in the class? So just because we have delivered a concept, we covered a particular syllabus, that doesn't mean that they learned it. To learn, students need to do something. Let me share another experience. Few years back, I have attended a faculty development workshop like this, and the resource person asked all the participants to tell our favorite teacher. Who is your favorite teacher? He asked us. I told my mathematics teacher is my favorite teacher, and other participant told English teacher, and some other faculty member told computer networks teacher. Likewise, we all gave different answers. Then he asked us, what is the quality so that made your favorite teacher as your favorite teacher? What is the quality that made the teacher as your favorite teacher? So we all have given different replies. I told my teacher used to be very interactive in the classes. I like that very much. And another told his teacher used to conduct group discussions whenever a complex topic is to be introduced. And another participant told his teacher makes a classroom a fun way of learning. And another teacher told that his teacher encourages self-learning. And another participant told that his teacher teaches based on the activities. And another participant told his teacher provides very good teaching material. And another participant told instead of usual routine chalkboard teaching, his teacher teaches through PowerPoint presentations. And another one told his teacher keeps assessments very regularly and gives timely feedback so that they can improve their learning. And another one told his teacher makes his class very entertaining by playing some interesting video clips on the subject. So these are the various replies we have given to the sir. Then the resource person asked us, just imagine you all belong to my class. You all are the students of my class. I am your teacher. In order to make myself as your favorite teacher, what are the qualities should I possess? Then we realized why that resource person asked the question. So he's trying to make us realize that our classroom is filled with students with different learning capabilities, different expectations from the students. So are we really meeting the needs of the students or not? So we all know students will have different learning styles. Some student will learn the things very fastly when we present a video clip. Some students learn things very fastly when we do some oral presentations, when we conduct some group discussions, when we ask the students to present some seminars. And some students will learn things very fastly when you go for activity-based teaching. So these are the different learning styles the students are having. So we need to ask the traditional classroom environment, what we are having now. In the traditional classroom environment, are we able to meet the needs of the different learning needs of the students or not? Are we really able to reach all the students in the classroom? Are we really able to meet the expectations of all the students in the classroom or not? So there are certainly some disadvantages with the traditional classroom training. So let us see what are they. So usually at the end of our class, you ask the students, have you understood the concept? Is that clear to you? So usually very few students, one or two, or some people will respond to us very quickly, yes ma'am or yes sir. But we take that for granted, as if the response is from the whole class. But we know that the response is only from the few students, but we will not have much time to pay attention on the other students. Of course, our university system is like that. We have so much syllabus to deliver in the class. We need to complete the syllabus within the specified time period. In the 1 hour class or 50 minutes or 40 minutes class, so we prepare something to deliver to the students and we are forced to complete that. So we cannot satisfy a slow learner. If you teach very slowly, the fast learner will get bored. He will not show interest to join the class the next day. If we teach fastly, the slow learner cannot understand the concepts. So the traditional classroom is not able to make us reach all the students with the different learning capabilities in the class. That is the first disadvantage. And second disadvantage is, so as I told you, if a student doesn't understand a class, suppose we taught basics in one class, so he is not having good understanding about these basics, he could not understand these basics properly. So when he comes to the next class, everything looks like Greek and Latin to him because he is not having good foundation on the basics. So this will be carried forward. The next class, the next class, next class. We have forced the students to go to the next class without having good understanding about what we have taught in the previous class. Because as I told you, we don't have much time to concentrate or focus on the students. So at one point of time, the students lose their enthusiasm. They lose their interest. They started disliking the subject. And finally, they will hate the subject. So this is what happens in the traditional classroom environment. And one more thing is, usually we instruct the students at the end of the class, revise whatever I taught in the class. So to revise, they need to take the notes. So most of the students, even nowadays, they pay much more interest in taking the notes rather than listening to what the lecturer is delivering. So they will be missing some important points while taking the notes. So this is another disadvantage with the traditional classroom environment. So to get rid of all these problems, to overcome all these problems, here the technology we are introducing in teaching. Technology is being integrated in teaching. So technology in teaching to enrich learning. So we should be aware of the learning styles of the students, and we should also make the students aware what their learning capability or ability. So when we are able to enrich the learning styles of the students, when we make them aware how they learn the things, then they become self-explorers. So they learn by their mistakes. They learn to experiment. So they think out of the box. So they become more creative. Ultimately, they'll become and they'll be ready for the global creative economy, and they are self-directed. So now our duty is to incorporate technology to enrich learning. So for that, we are having different softwares. The software which is used for handling this teaching and learning process is known as learning management software. So in this learning management software, we integrate course management, teaching and training material, self-assessment, learning tools, as well as social communication. These all are integrated together, and we call it as either learning management system or learning management software. So what are the advantages of using this technology, using this LMS in our teaching? So the first advantage is learning is not restricted to a classroom where the instructor keeps on teaching irrespective of the learning capabilities of the students. So in the traditional classroom, we never focus on the learner capabilities, but the disadvantage can be overcome using this LMS. This is not restricted to a classroom where the teacher keeps on teaching without considering the learning capabilities of the student. That is the first advantage of LMS. And next one is the LMS allows learning at your own pace. We all know some students may learn a new concept within 15 minutes. Another student may take half an hour. Another student may take 1 hour time. So, but in the traditional classroom environment, we are not giving the time to the students. If a student wants to take 1 hour time, we don't give that 1 hour time. But in the LMS, a student can learn at their own pace. If they want to take 1 hour time, yes, they can take. If they want to complete it within 15 minutes and go to the next concept, yes. So that is the advantage of having LMS. And one more thing is, only after mastering one concept, they will be moved to the next concept. That means before proceeding to the next level, the student can make sure that he understood completely the previous concept. So as I told you, in the traditional classroom, even though the student doesn't understand properly, he is forced to move to the next concept. But when you use the learning management system, a student can make sure that he has learned everything what is taught in the previous class, then only he can go to the next class. This is another advantage of having learning management system. And finally, the last advantage, many more advantages are there. Just to list a few, I'm giving these advantages. So another advantage is the student can learn anywhere, anytime, whenever he is interested. So he can learn in the college or school, he can learn in the home, learn at home. While traveling, he or she can learn. Otherwise, he can sit in the college ground and learn. Anywhere, anytime, whenever she or he is interested, he can take the lessons, he can start learning. So these are the different advantages of having LMS. So now let us see what are the different LMS softwares we are having. As Ajay sir told, so we are having Moodle, we are having Google Classroom, we are having Microsoft Teams. So many learning management systems are there. but I'm afraid. So only 15 minutes time is there. I may not be able to introduce you all these things. So I will try to introduce you only one concept, that is Google Classroom. How can we use Google Classroom in our teaching? So let me present my screen once again. So if you have a Google account, you can open any Google Classroom. Okay. So this is my Gmail account. So just open your Gmail account. The Google is providing this classroom free. So you need not pay anything for this one. So I'll show you how actually this Google Classroom is a course management system. So when you are delivering a course to the students, what all material you want to give for the students that you can give. So I'll show you what all are the features. It is like a virtual classroom. So when you open the Gmail account, here you have Google Apps. Click on the Google Apps, and if you scroll down, you'll find Classroom. So just click on the Classroom. So that means now you are creating a virtual classroom to your students. So this is the page that gets opened. So here, if you see on the top right corner, you'll find one plus symbol here. So if you hover your mouse here, you will find create or join class. So create is for teachers, join is for students. Now you can create a virtual classroom for your students, and you can ask your students to join your virtual classroom. There you can provide everything. It could be an assignment, it could be a teaching material, it could be a quiz to be conducted. So it could be a video link. So everything you can provide to your students. So just click on plus button. As a teacher, now I have to create a class. Click on create class. So it will ask you to accept some guidelines. Just click on that one and click on continue. So here a separate window is open. So here, if you see, the first one is the class name. What is the name of the class? So I'm giving the name of the class as I'm dealing with some final year students. Let us take final year BTech. So this is the class name. And usually we have sections. I think you also have sections. The section name you need to give here. Next, for which subject you are creating this virtual classroom? For example, I'm creating for software engineering. This is the subject name. And you can give the room numbers also. So the final year classroom number is 3E4 in my college. So I have given 3E4. Next, just click on create. Okay, it takes some time to create this class. Yes, here the classroom has been created. So hope you are all able to follow me. Can you please help me by saying yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So this is the page that gets open here. If you see here, stream, classwork, people, grades. These are the different tabs we are having here. And if you see here, so this is the class code. If you click here, it will zoom out. Okay, this is the code of the class. Using this class code, the students will join your class. Otherwise, if you click here, the invite link will be copy invite link. The link will be copied. So you can give this link to the students either through WhatsApp or by mailing it. So either clicking on the link, they get joined to our class. Otherwise, by using this class code, they can join our class. Okay. So now to make you understand, I will open another tab. From there, I'll join as a student. So first, let us see what is the class code. So this is the class code. So I'm copying this class code. So let me open another tab. So here in this tab, I'm opening again classroom, click on apps, click on classroom. Okay, now this window gets open. So same thing appears here, plus. So I click on the plus, but this time I need to choose join class because this is for the student. So join class. Okay. So next it is asking for the class code. So here I'm pasting the class code. Okay. Next, you have to click on join. So here is the join. So click on join. So meanwhile, it process C here. So the student has joined the class. This is the home page for the student. So now let us go back to the teachers homepage. This is my homepage. Okay. So we have created a class. We made a student to join the class. So let us check how many students are there. So if you click on people, you'll find. So one student is there with name Jay Kumar. Okay. So here one student. So likewise, you can make the students join. So you cannot join the students one by one. So simply share the class code. Otherwise, simply share the link and ask them to join. Whenever a student has been joined to a class, that will be displayed here. Okay. So now, if you want to change this particular display pic, so you can select the theme from the predefined. Otherwise, you can upload a picture. So as we are running out of the time, only little time is there. I don't want to waste the time in changing all these pictures. So let us now click on classwork. So this is where you can give so much material or whatever you want to distribute to the students, you can give it. Okay. So just click on create here. So if you click on create, you'll find different options here. What are they? Assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse paste. So now I would like to give some material, teaching material to the student. I told you LMS integrates teaching material, tools, assessment, everything into one place. So I want to provide some teaching material to the students. So I have clicked on the material. So if you want to have a topic here, you can create the topic. So topic what I'm giving is some software engineering process. So just type in the topic here. Okay. So next, what is the title of the material? I'm going to provide unit 1 material. Okay. So if any description you want to give, you can give. Otherwise, it is an optional. Now, here if you see add button is there. If you click on add button, how do you want to post this material? Is your material is there in the Google Drive? Do you want to provide a link to your material? You want to upload a file? You want to upload a video from the YouTube? So anyone you can choose. So I'll show you how to upload a file. So just click on the file because usually all the teaching material will reside in our desktop or the laptop. So you click on the file. So next to browse button, click on the browse button and explore your file explorer where your particular material is there. So my material is there. Just me. The software engineering folder. So this is software engineering folder. So in the software engineering folder, I'm having, if you can see, class material. Just open it, class material. Okay, see here the class material has been attached here. Okay, now you have to click on post button. Just post. So see here, software engineering process is the topic name. Under the topic name, I have posted a material. Material name is unit 1. So now let us check how it would be for the student. So here, this is the student. Let me refresh it. See here, Prasunna Manikya posted a new material, unit 1. So this notification will be given to the student. Even they will get an email alert also. So and so madam has posted so and so material. Email alert also they will get. So this is how you post your teaching material. So when you post the teaching material, what happens? Students need not take notes in the class. Of course, we don't discourage the students to take the running notes, but they need not spend so much time on taking the notes while the class. They can focus on the teachers teaching, whatever the teacher is teaching. Okay, so this is the advantage of having this virtual classroom. Okay, so now if you want to add material in the form of a YouTube link, so again I'm taking software engineering process and the title is some waterfall model. So I have explained waterfall model. I have given the what you call the material also, but as we discussed, we need to satisfy the needs of learning needs of all the students. So some students may feel interested if they will go through a video. So I'm clicking here video and YouTube. I'm clicking on the YouTube. So in the YouTube, I have found one very much interesting video to explain the waterfall model. So this is the waterfall model explanation through video. Yes. Okay. So now what the thing I need to do is just copy this link. So select the link, use Control C, next come to your classwork and just give here Control V. Okay. So then search. Otherwise, if you feel that it is difficult to open a YouTube and copy the link, here itself you can search for a particular topic. You just write here software engineering, search button. All the videos belonging to the software engineering will be displayed, whichever the one you choose that one and add. Okay. So now click search button. So this is the one actually, this link I have copied. Select this one and click on add. So this video link has been inserted here. Now you just post it. So now let us see how the student will be able to see this one. And if you see here, see, Prasunna Manikya posted a new material, Prasunna Manikya posted a new material waterfall model. If he clicks on this one, he can find the video link. So if he clicks on this particular video link, he can enjoy the video and understand the concepts. So this is how we are able to post the materials in our virtual classroom. Okay. So similarly, we are having other things. I want to give you an assignment to the students. So we discussed that a good teaching quality is to assess the students regularly and give them the correct feedback so that they can learn from their mistakes and they can improve themselves. So click on assignment here. Okay, so first you have to give here the title. I'm giving assignment 1. Okay, so instructions. If you want to give any instructions, all questions carry some equal marks, something like that I'm typing here. Okay, so this is for which class? Select here, 4th BTech, 2nd BTech, a 3rd BTech. So this is for 4th BTech. Okay, so for all the students I want to give the assignment. How many marks for this assignment? So it is given here 100, but I want to give for only 20 marks. And here we can mention the due date also. So due date is, I want them to submit this assignment by March 2nd. So I have selected the date. Okay. So even time also you can select. So what is the time? So 11:59 p.m. So due date and time I have set. So under which topic we have given this assignment? So I have selected the topic. Only one topic I have created, that is shown in the list. I have selected it, software engineering process. So here rubrics. If you click on rubrics, so you can create a new rubric. So how the 20 marks are awarded to the students. So I think being so many of your faculty from B.Ed colleges and the degree colleges, you know very well how to create rubrics. So create rubric. So next, so the assignment has to be added. So click on add and click on file here. So in the file, if it is readily available, You can browse it. See here, assignment 1. So I'm clicking on assignment 1. Okay. Otherwise, if it is not readily available, if you click here on the create button, some docs, slides, sheets, drawings, forms are available. You click on your doc and therein you can type your questions. Okay. Otherwise, if you have prepared an assignment, a Word document, then you can add here, click on file and upload the specific file. Now you assign. Now this assignment will be assigned to all the students whoever registered for this virtual class. See here, this is assignment 1. Okay, so if you click on this assignment, you can see how many students turned in, how many students you have assigned. I have assigned to 1 student. How many students turned in? 0. That means no student has yet submitted ever assignment. Okay, so this is how you assign assignments to the students. So as we are running out of the time, I will show you. So the assignments I have given to my students. So how many students are there? See here, 63 students are there in my class. So for these 63 students, what are the assignments I have given? So unit 6 material I have posted, unit 5, unit 4, question bank. So new material. So some notes about AWK, set, shift, important questions, login process, weekly test. Now let us click on weekly test. So this is the weekly test. So totally how many students I have assigned? 63. How many students uploaded the assignment? Weekly test? 55. How many have not yet submitted the weekly test? 8 members. So how they have assigned? So these are the weekly tests given by the students. So if you want to see any student, here you will get the list of the students also. Who has submitted, who has not yet submitted. Okay, all the list you will be having. So if you click on a particular paper or the weekly test of a student, you will see what all he has written. So here itself you can evaluate. Here itself you can give the grade and you can give some comments also. So you can write some private comments. So you have done so well, otherwise you need to improve here or there, you did not prepare well, keep going like that. Whatever comments we have to give, you can give all the comments here. So in this way, we will be able to assess the students frequently. So that is about assignments, giving assignments. And if you can bear with me for a few more minutes, I'll let you know how to create quizzes. Otherwise, already it is 7:30. If you want me to wind up, I will wind up. I will respect your opinion, no problem. So it's already 7:30. Actually, to explain technology in teaching, it takes 2 to 3 hours. So only for Google Classroom, we need some 1.5 hour or 2 hours time. If it is Moodle, it really requires 2 to 3 hours time. But students will do wonderfully when we introduce this technology to them. So they feel very much comfortable. Even our teaching process becomes very easy. So we can post the teaching material, we can assess the students regularly whenever, suppose sometimes when we are browsing, sometimes we feel, so this particular video is very much useful for the students, then simply you can post it. You need not do anything, just to copy the URL and post it in the Google Classroom. So students will see it. And every time you need not ask in the classroom who has submitted an assignment, who has not submitted. So this software itself shows you who has turned in and who has not yet turned in. So many advantages are there. So just try to explore this Google Classroom on your own. If you have any doubts, you feel free to ask me. And if any chance, if any opportunity, you try to incorporate Moodle also in your teaching, so that makes your teaching process very easy and very interesting. You feel very interesting, even your students also feel very interesting if you can incorporate this technology in your teaching. So all the best, all of you. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Any questions from participants side? Any questions from participants side?
So I think they may not have any doubts because only half of the process I explained them. I'm sorry, I couldn't complete in time. So
Good
it's all.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, I have only one doubt.
Ma'am,
Will the students be able to confirm that they have sent the mail, that is, they have sent the assignment to us?
students.
Because we are able to confirm that when it is turned in, we are able to see.
Yes, ma'am. Whenever they
Will students be able
uploaded,
to confirm that?
yes, yes. From their side also, the confirmation will be there, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Like a WhatsApp group like that, they are able to easily identify that they have sent the copy that is received by us.
Okay. So even if you give any comments also, they will receive that, ma'am. The
Okay,
marks also they will receive. Marks, comments, everything they will receive.
okay,
That's
ma'am.
why I'm telling. Students feel very interesting at the first place, more than the teachers. So whenever they upload a file, they will get the confirmation. If you give some marks, they will get those marks. If you give a feedback, they'll see the marks,
Yeah.
feedback. So they feel very happy to get that fast response from us.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, I'm using only Edmodo software, so I don't know about Google Classroom. That's what I asked you.
So Google Classroom is very easy, ma'am, rather than any other LMS.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you
But
so
it's
much.
not, of course, it will not manage the entire course. I mean, course means like BTech course or degree.
Mm.
So for that, we need to go for the Moodle. So
Oh,
only one individual teacher can manage their course
okay, ma'am.
through Google Classroom. That is the only constraint.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patient hearing, and thanks to Resin sir for giving me this opportunity, and Candy sister especially, and our management also for allowing me to participate in this FTP. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
Reina
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a nice, informative talk. I personally enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you very much.